Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 27th of February, 2024, 6 p.m. Central Time. Trying to get this out a little bit earlier. We're getting some serious weather changes through the United States. You're going to see it overnight. You know, there were record-breaking, I think 90 cities or something hit record temperatures today. We didn't do it in Chicago. 76 or 75 was our record. We got to 72. We hit records yesterday. And now, tomorrow's going to be a high of 35. So we are going to see a monster drop, possible snowstorm. So just give you an idea. And I keep telling people, remember, this is February 27th. We got lucky here. But it is going to be right after that, back into the 40s and 50s. So that's not bad. It's been a fabulous winter if you're one of these like me that doesn't want to be shoveling snow and being in sub-zero weather. All right, so as I look at how these markets are performing right here, I still think the stock market is trying to consolidate. I think that the mega techs, those Mag 6, I don't think it's 7 anymore, I think it's the Mag 6, are stuck holding, and that's about it at this point. And money is broadening out. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If the market puts on a correction and it's broadening out, there's a lot of markets that could give you a drop right here, and you want to be a bit careful. Are there any major reports tomorrow to worry about? I think they're all minor. You get the Mortgage Bankers Association, and you get a second look at fourth quarter GDP, and it's a second look, so maybe there's a revision, but I don't see that as being market movers. The day after, the market's looking at the PCE index, and it's already built in a hot number, so I don't know that there's anything that bad. We saw today that President Biden met with the heads, plural, of the Senate and the House of Representatives. He met privately for, I don't know how long, probably short, with Mike Johnson, the House Speaker. Schumer came out, Chuck Schumer, and saying, oh, it looks as though we're close, getting close to something for the budget. Well, I can tell you this. Schumer talks a lot of games. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But I seriously doubt that Mike Johnson, the Speaker, can make a deal without something happening on the border. So maybe they're able to separate the U.S. budget from Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan aid, because that it won't happen without something on the border, as I understand it. Could I be wrong? I could, but then I think that Mike Johnson's not Speaker of the House. So I think that that is exactly where you're at. And the question is on Friday, how hard does everybody hold in the House and say, no, they want to tie everything together? If that's what they want to do, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a shutdown on Friday, all right? It doesn't sound to me, in watching how I saw Mr. Johnson come out of that meeting, as though they've agreed on anything except possibly a budget part. But the question is how does his feet get held to the fire at the House? I don't know. Tomorrow, the representatives return, by the way. They've been on vacation, so they return, and we will see if there's any shenanigans that's pulled, if everybody can go around the Speaker. I don't know what's going to happen, but be ready for it, okay? That's the point. And as I said, the consolidation there, little backup happening in the gold, silver, in the foreign currency markets, playing games. Now, we're getting a lot of data out of Japan, and some of the data is good, some of it isn't. You know, I'm looking at the inflation data, and it still looks fairly sticky to me, and that becomes the question. I know last night I had clients, you know, I've told them to be short, and today I was telling them to come out. I didn't sleep well being short. And that always bugs me when that happens. And that's because I know at any point, if you get a piece of data that gives the Bank of Japan reason, they'll mention something about changing their monetary policy, and you get a pop. Don't know, all right? You always worry about it. On the energies, the API numbers came out, and you got to build in the oil stocks again. You are getting draws. They're not monstrous, but you're getting draws on gasoline and heating oil, and we're going to get the EIA report at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. So I forgot to put that on that list, but you will get that. All right, so let's take a look. If you look at the S&P, you're down 1/4 point for the week. Does that sound like this is much of a correction on a closing basis? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. That's why I say you've got consolidation, a broadening of buying in different sectors. I'm even seeing the, if you will, the biotech sector took off, and I've been watching XLV and some of the others go there. When I take a look at what you've got higher lows, higher highs. You have a market that's got support, as I see it, back at the 50-30 zone. That's about 50 points lower than here. It could, if we take out today's high, you could get another pattern of another higher low and a higher high still at work there. But I see resistance at the 51.19 level. As this market holds, you're hearing more people come out now and say, yeah, my 5,200 to 5,400 zone is where I think this market is going. I'm hearing that over and over on TV and in other analyst newsletters. So something to pay attention to. Are we embedding? Well, both numbers were over 80 tonight, but you can't go by that. We don't know where it'll close. But they were both on Tuesday over 80. Day before they were not. You're just in an overbought market, not embedded. Is it going to be able to come up here? Or is it going to decide that it wants to pull back and get back to that 18-day average? I think you flip a coin. In the NASDAQ, it's a similar thing. You're overbought. I teach, that doesn't mean I'm right, but I teach that when you're overbought, you don't deploy new money to the long side. Well, you're overbought. That doesn't mean you can't go higher, but I certainly wouldn't be teaching you to go in and buy in that condition because resistance just above you at 18,162, and you'll say, well, Ira, that's 160 points. I get it. But how much is each point? It's not, is it worth the risk? Then when you take a look at the Dow, well, you can see your momentum is overbought as can be. You've got the same situation. You've run into the resistance where I thought it would be. Yesterday I was telling you, take a look at Bollinger Bands, learn how to work with them. You'd understand what I'm saying right there. And support's leaning back down at the 38,000, let's call it 788 level. The Russell's getting more buying than the other indices as people are rolling out of some of those. And obviously, everybody says, oh, as soon as interest rates drop, these are the stocks that'll go. That's what you keep hearing. Okay, but I haven't seen interest rates drop. And maybe they'll be right, maybe they'll be wrong. The trend is up, the bias is up, resistance is 2085 roughly, and you are overbought. We then come to the bonds and notes, and so far the 100-day average is acting as the resistance. You have an embedded reading. The pros are probably selling against that number, still looking for the lower band to be hit. I see the same thing in the 5-year note, and now it's got the 18-day average right with it, so that's a pretty big resistance point. In the dollar index, you've been leaning on the 100-day average, which is under the 18, but for 4 or 5 days in a row, you're just bouncing back and forth between the two. Very difficult market to want to trade there. In the euro, you're the opposite. You're using the 100-day average as support. It's the mirror image, just flip it, and you're overbought. I'll let other people want to trade that. It's too difficult to chart. In the British pound, you're overbought. Overbought tells me go on vacation, okay? There's other markets to look at from time to time. Bitcoin, I blew that one. The market took off yesterday and it hasn't stopped to the upside. All right, I didn't have clients go short, but it could have held on. In Brent versus WTI, straight on down, no difference between the prices, keeps narrowing in, if you will, if anything. And you can see you have a market that is trying to embed. It's doing its darn best to do it. Same thing here. Give you an example. You can't go by tonight, so let's not look at Wednesday's Bollinger Bands. Slow stochastics. But if you go to Tuesday, both are over 80, both over 80 on Monday. Were they over 80 on Friday? Yeah, no. 79 reading. So tomorrow's very crucial to the market. Are we going to get the embedded reading? And if so, it changes my attitude on the market and it makes me switch gears. And if you're a car driver, I love cars. It's you're going instantly from first, slamming into second because you're looking to do something all of a sudden. When you take a look at gas, I don't know how many of you still know how to drive a stick shift. Lower and low, higher, high. And by the way, paddle's so much more fun and faster. Lower and low, higher, high, like that. And you're just up to about where I thought you would go in the resistance when you lost the bearish embedded reading here. So it's interesting time for that market. Now, I know a lot of you don't realize I cover the grain markets, the meat markets, all the soft markets in detail in my morning futures video. I don't know if you're aware of all that. The charts will look sort of like this. They're going to have with them, if you will, and you'll see it right through here, all these different charts will have a lot of lines on them. But all of a sudden, I teach you every morning and you learn how the lines work. We cover all these different markets. Today, I was in the grains. That was the market that I was focused on and trying to be a short seller. And as it turns out, it was a good day, all right? But it rotates. To me, a chart is a chart. And when you hear me say, you have an overbought market, I don't think you're deploying new money, I just walk away from them. If a chart's a chart, do I care if it's a stock index, a currency, or an interest rate? I don't. Do I want to be in front of major reports like the Thursday morning? No. So I've stepped back from some of those and I moved to the others that have got something that's more interesting, okay? The name of the game is often preservation of capital, trying to be smart. And my goal here is for those of you that are chartists out there to be able to talk to you in such a way that you're looking at these and you're saying, I get what he's talking about. I was looking to do that. Wow. That's helping me with my trade, or no, he doesn't know what he's talking about and that's hurting me and you walk away from me, okay? I've seen that too. It goes both ways. I don't walk on water, but I'm better than most, all right? I really believe that. I believe what I'm saying. I've done this long enough where I better be. So you put this together, you come up with game plans, and that's the goal that I have, explaining to you what it is. Now, longer position trades give you an idea. In the Spider ETF, I have trades on right now that I put on December 4th. And this is going to be March 1st. So don't tell me that we don't do that. We do. And we're talking ETF type trading and so on. And while I'm talking here, the futures, I do the same thing in the ETFs and the stock market trades. So always looking at it. Generally speaking, the only time that it's in and out the same day is mostly when you're wrong, you're getting stopped out, and or you get a day where in some days you put on a position and bang, your profit is hit the same day. That does happen. Today was a good day. And you will see just what goes on there. But the name of the game is, as I said, I don't want to manage your money. I want to be the guy you look at in the morning and you say, I want to see what Ira's saying. I want to take a look at that. I've got some ideas on trading. You do. And you're saying, what is he thinking about it? Go to iraepstein.com under the word research. It's all there. You can move your cursor here. And when you get there, you'll also see both the ETF and this video here. I'm Ira. You have a good day.